Hello, hello! We are the Half-Rest Heroes, and welcome back to another session of Auram. But let's jump right into the recap. As last time on Helmir and Volpa's journey through Auram, the two came across each other in the once great city of Verdast. Either through divine providence or by the connections of the weave itself, the two found out inexplicably that they both had a common goal in locating the frost giants. Taking advantage of the coincidence, the two decided to trek the perilous tundra together. In the earlier part of their travel, they came across some residents of Frostfield that fled their village for fear of an approaching giant raid. You spared them some rations and continued forward until you reached a channel with boats on either side. You delegated, who was going to steer and who was going to push at the front, but within moments of setting off into the water, you both noticed a green flash of light high up in the sky, immediately followed with an abrupt change of weather. A sudden cyclone of wind turned the waves violent as if it had wakened some slumbering elemental in the channel. And urgently, the two of you rowed through 3 of the 5 lengths across the river before the boat capsized and the torrent pulled you all along with it. After an undetermined amount of time, you managed to climb ashore, and exhausted decided to make camp and follow the river back to the remnants of the road the following day. With increasing wariness, you traveled northward on less road than usual. You ended up finding an ancient temple around dusk and set up camp away from it before retiring for the night. But suddenly, in the middle of Volpa's night watch, she heard the flapping of enormous scale wings, which announced the arrival of a creature once thought to belong only in legend. For growing ever closer was an ancient white dragon. So, describing specifically what you see is that the sight is off into the far distance, high up in the sky. Hard to say how many hundreds of feet it is. The sight of the dragon almost makes you not notice that before it is a cascading snowfall which arrives far in front of the drake, and it takes you by surprise as the dragon makes its descent into the temple. What are you doing, Volpa? And I think I established that Helmir just woke up as well.
Yeah.
Guard!
No. I mean, probably, just staying as still as possible. Right now. Trying not to be seen.
And go ahead and open up an owl bear just to get, positions all. Just to get, the distance and where you guys are.
Yeah, just for a general understanding.
Remind me which... Oh, never mind.
It's in the bottom right there. And you guys are, assumedly, around the fire, which is still going.
Okay. Yes, so we're down here. And how far away did you say it was?
The temple is about 300 feet from you guys.
Okay. Do I have...
It's not quite at the temple yet, so it's, maybe 500 feet away.
And is it still flying right now?
It is currently
Flying
flying.
right
I'm gonna need both of you to make perception checks, though.
Bet.
With a disadvantage because of the heavy snowfall.
Unacceptable.
That is sad because I did roll a natural 20, but
Oh.
18.
Okay.
Rolling at 20 again.
I wish.
Helmir?
Struggling to grab the dice. 1 sec. So 14 plus 11, so 24. Oh wait, disadvantage. 23.
23.
Or sorry, total's 24 still.
24 still. With disadvantage? Wow, okay.
Yeah, it was a 13 and a 14.
Rogues. Specifically your rogue, too. So, Volpa, you see as the, you look for the dragon, and it's strange to see a figure so big just kind of fade away into the snowfall. But, Helmir, you notice that it tucks in its wings, and almost you see as it approaches the temple, it becomes smaller and smaller before it escapes your vision completely as it finally descends into the temple. But you have a moment to yourselves.
But it just changed form.
Yeah. The fire is still
What?
the fire is still keeping you warm. It's straining
I'm-
against the blizzard.
I'm gonna start shoveling snow over the fire to put it out.
Okay. Also, well, I know you're making a stealth check. Helmir, are you?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. 23.
23.
It's just a straight roll. No disadvantage. Okay. Oh no, I rolled a 9. That's a 24. So that was something.
What do you mean it changed form?
I know dragons have the ability to transform into humanoids, and I believe that's what happened here. It was really big, and then as it got towards the temple, it shrank way down. Not just folding in its wings, shrinking, but really small.
Okay.
Didn't you say we were coming up to find a wizard?
Yes. He,
Wind Targon. That's where we're looking.
yes. Specializes in evocation.
Yeah.
Opa does not know what that means.
Suddenly,
Neither do I.
suddenly, you hear this sound. You're like, it's the sound of snow crunching under boots.
Which
Approaches.
direction?
It's coming from the direction from the temple, so I'd say that is west from you. Or this way.
Helmir's gonna grab Volpa and dash towards the trees here.
Yeah. Try to duck behind a tree, taking up defensive position.
Yeah. Bow ready.
As you see approaching the encampment, you see the figure, the outline of the figure first. You could see this figure has a cowl on. The figure walks with an uneven cadence, which makes sense as you see what looks to be a cane that the figure is leaning on. As you see, a cowl covers half of this woman's face, with a long gray hair spills out of the cowl. Looks to be an elderly woman, and even with the cowl on, with covering the top half of her face, you can pick out a number of details if you like to make a perception check.
Yes.
Is it still with disadvantage?
No, because she's close.
28.
11.
Okay, Helmir, you notice numerous lines on her face. Her frame isn't incredibly bulky, but by no means is she frail. And just underneath, with what little light you still have from the moon casting light off of the snow, kind of barely peeking its light through the storm, the light reflects onto her face, and you can see her irises are completely clouded over. Walks unevenly up to the encampment. And make an insight check if you'd like to. Yeah, if you'd like to.
Yeah, kind of want to gauge whether she's looking for us or just coming to camp. Maybe you just saw the camp. 17.
Okay. Volpa?
19.
19. The way she's looking around, and it's strange because you, at least to Helmir, who knows that her eyes are clouded over with what looks to be like, just like years and years of cataracts. She's looking as if she can see. She, there's like even some branches that she moves around. Even so, there's a sort of, there's a tired expression to her face, and she is looking around as if kind of slightly annoyed. But it doesn't seem off of your insight check that she was looking for you specifically. It seemed she was looking for this camp.
What is she doing?
She kind of pokes around with her cane onto things, and she takes a sit down on one of the logs.
I assume we like left our bags there when we ran for the trees.
Yeah, you did. She doesn't seem to be poking around in them at all, though.
Okay.
She prods them with her cane and then just kind of goes over and sits down. Immediately.
I'll look to Helmir and whisper, I'll try to sneak around the back if you kind of want to approach from the front just in case something happens.
Is this a fun game we're playing here?
What are your intentions?
I'm gonna start sneaking through the trees to get around to where her back is.
She does keep her back to you guys.
Oh.
Or I guess, well, I mean, she doesn't bother to like move if you go from behind, is what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I want to go. I don't know if this little person's supposed to be me or not. But kind of go up towards more like the top of kind of where the camp is, but still like in the, yeah, that's pretty good.
I'll come around the tree
You
in
can-
vision, like in quotes, but I'll stay by the tree.
Yeah. You are trespassing.
Says who?
Says me.
And who are you?
So you as a Night Weaver playing one of her games now. Go spray her acidic bile into someone else's ears. She can have fun with you mortals.
Excuse me? As fun as that seems, questioning life, I have no idea who this Nightweaver is.
No. You can make a history check if you want.
Oh, sure. Might as well. 18.
No. You have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Oh. Wandering travelers, then. State your business. This is my land.
I assume you're the White Dragon, then?
She's, she cocks an eyebrow, just like, it's like, oh, you saw me kind of thing, and it was just like, it's like, yes.
We're looking for someone.
And I'm looking for a reason why you are still here talking to me, and why I shouldn't give a swift end to your lives.
Well,
I never back away from a fight, as I'm always down, but I don't go for fights that I know I can't win, at the very least. You could have taken us out if you wanted to, but you obviously don't want to. We're here looking for, well, I'm here looking for the Frost Giants, and she is here looking for, what was the name again? Win Targon? Wizard? Maybe you've seen him or her? I think that name can go either way. I'm not sure.
Targon, I think.
When you mention frost giants, he's like, how funny. No, if I knew where the frost giants were, we wouldn't be talking now. I'd be going there and killing every last one of them.
Oh.
Interesting.
What about the wizard?
There's plenty of wizards. I don't keep track of them. They die. They replace themselves with their apprentices, and I endure it.
Well, we seem to be at a bit of an impasse then. Perhaps you could kindly point us on our way territory that does not belong to you, though we no longer trespass.
Helmir, from your... I'm not going to make you make a check for this, but from the stories you've heard about dragons, in the myths, they are seldom at all willing to talk to others, as well as just basically the fact that this conversation is happening at all is strange.
Yeah.
Well, first, I'd like to know who you are. As the fire with snow on it begins, the snow begins to burn off as the fire relights itself. Take a seat.
I feel like we're talking perfectly fine from where we are.
Honestly, it is a bit chilly out here. I'm not used to this, so I'll sit down, but not because you told me to.
I will come out from the trees, but still stand like a reasonable distance away.
Well, if it's just knowing who we are, then I'm at least fine with that. I am Helmir of the Hunt. Not yet claimed my bounty yet.
I am Jennifer. That's my name.
Get deception check. And I'd like both of you to make general charisma checks.
Well, that's a total of 8 on my deception.
Uh, 21 on my general charisma check. That's just the charisma modifier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, but general charisma is a natural 20
Okay.
for a total of 21.
Ew.
She kind of sets down her cane and settles into her seat a little bit more. She kind of gives a wry smile. Is like, well, Jennifer,
Mm.
you can stand there if you'd like. Don't worry. I don't bite.
I'll wait and see for now.
So be it. You said you were traveling through here with the purpose of finding giants. I have heard of the raids, but honestly, perhaps I was lying before when I'd say if I knew where they were, I'd kill them all. To mess with things unnecessarily, that leads to unnecessary problems, casualties, and annoyances. I can point you in the general direction where I heard those rumors are, but I'd encourage you to keep this place. I'd say keep this place a secret, but you know, it's not exactly meant to be easy to find.
I'm pretty sure we stumbled upon it by accident.
Can I assume those were your defenses at the river?
At the river? No. I don't. The channel I see that far below. I usually don't pass by there too much for traffic.
Are you sure you haven't seen any wizards more recently?
She kind of stops for a second and is just like ponders on whether it's worth answering. It's just like, it'll be more fun to throw a wrench in her plans. I've had a number of ambitious wizards trying to win me over as if they're some deluded and blinded cleric of Palor trying to convert me. Saying, yes, go and join this cabal. You can be a ruler once more, Kyone. Nightweaver knows that this is the turning of the tide. The apocalypse is coming soon. Yes, right. And she's lived how long, and I am how many times her age?
Did you say apocalypse?
Well, I'm sure there's been talk around, you know. Frost giant raids, Shadowfell portals, disappearances, all the works.
Have we heard about Shadowfell portals at all?
Yes.
Ye-
Helmir has at least.
Okay.
Helmir definitely. Actually, you would have known in passing from their conversations that they've mentioned something about Shadowfell portals.
Okay.
And this has also got to do with the earthquake, then?
Oh yes, of course. another indication. They'd like to pretend that it wasn't them, that their little cabal of hooligans didn't cause it, but I know better. I know a scheme, and I know the collateral that Night Reaver usually deems acceptable.
Helmir, have you had any sort of interaction with this Night Weaver or her followers?
Well, I've said quite a bit. Why don't telling me a bit about yourselves? I hear that there's this, the Order of the Arcana. Oh wait, no, that was 500 years ago. They are calling themselves Obscurio now, I'm pretty sure. They like to have their little coin flips and whatnot, and something about trading information.
Helmir like goes to bring out his coin to flip it, and then just kind of like slowly puts it away. Yes, of course.
Let me ask a specific question. I saw the look of, noticed a change in your demeanor with the mention of Shadowfell portals. I take it you're knowledgeable of them. What have been your experiences with them?
We've encountered a few. One of them happened to be up by, if I remember correctly, it was up in Avios, I guess the northern Brialor Mountains, just west of there. There was a being that had taken over a circus, actually, and had been, in a way, running it with these shadow creatures. It was a very interesting sight to behold. And they were trying to find a bride for what they called the prince. I mean, that's all they really called him. And I don't remember him having a different name.
All right. And you, Jennifer?
That's me. What do you wish to know?
Where are you from?
I am from Verdas.
Is that a place in the north?
It's in the north.
Yeah. So, she's kind of wing and just takes out a sort of stone that she kind of whispers a few words into and just imbues a bit of magic into. It's like, all right, that's good for a record. Go ahead, ask another question.
This is was an interesting conversation. Normally, dragons don't have conversations with people like us, so what's got you so curious with us?
Call it a research project. An amusement which a friend of mine made me promise that I'd be more involved and try to learn things. Try to speak to mortals more often.
Is there much more to learn after being alive so long?
I have yet to see. In my mind, there is only the endlessness of eternity and excellence. And then there's the transient frivolities that appear and disappear and carry little meaning to me. But a promise is a promise, and I'll entertain them. Well, make an insight check, Volpa.
Right? Ooh, 26.
Oddly, she seems sentimental about this person, whoever she's talking about, as if she's talking about like a friend who has died a long time ago. But my curiosity has waned quite enough. You have sated my curiosity and helped me fulfill a part of my promise.
Oh,
You may rest here.
thank you.
Much appreciated.
And within an instant, grows into her full dragon form. She has these long, curved horns at her head. It's just as impressive. It's like when you look at the center of a tree and see how many rings it has. But add that to just the layering of the scales and their shape, as well as the fact that after you can only imagine thousands of years, still after weathering that many years in pretty damn good condition, flies with the beat up. You have to kind of hold on to something as she beats her wings and goes back over to the temple.
Oh,
Wait, what's the direction of the giants? Dang.
that could have gone a lot worse.
We're so close to the direction of the giants. Dang it. I knew I should ask that question first.
You could go over there.
And encroach more on our territory? I guess it's a win-win. I either get the information or I get a fight.
Do you really want to fight a white dragon?
You don't know how many answers of yes I have to that question.
I think there might be something wrong with you.
Honestly, I think there's something wrong with you. How do you not want to fight something like that?
I don't want to die.
Do you imagine the title given to your name?
Yes, the title would read, Here Lies Volpa of Verdas, killed by a white dragon. That's what it would say.
Helmir, the ancient white dragon. Or I guess it would just be Helmir the dragon. Much like my mentor. But having the full title is way cooler.
Not Dragon Slayer?
Just the name of the beast that has been slayed. Slayer is more of a... probably more of a blood hunter thing, I guess. But saying it's kind of redundant because the name of the the beast is implied as you've killed it.
Ah. I guess that makes sense.
Well, we should definitely rest for the night so we get our full rest.
Agreed.
And if she's there in the morning, maybe we'll ask. If not, then we'll move on in a direction.
Yep.
I believe we still have the direction of east of here. Was a possible last sighting for your wizard.
Yeah.
Hopefully my giants, but for now, definitely should get our rest.
Yes.
And so, as you go into more restful slumber, Helmir just there's realization of just like, 2 dragons in 2 weeks. How lucky am I?
And the other one was a black dragon?
An adult black dragon.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure I remember that correctly. Because for like a solid second, I was like, oh man, this one's injured. It was the other one. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure the other one was a black dragon. But yeah.
And make a roll. Just make an intelligence check. I'm just curious.
Always these ones, man. The ones that I'm like, I need to know this information, and then I roll a 4.
If you want to, you can refuse this if you want to figure it out yourself. There's a certain association that if you get without the roll, I'll let you have it. But I can also just give it to you right now on a silver platter. But obviously, if you fail, even if you come to that realization like today, then you wouldn't get it.
Oh, sadly, I've already rolled.
Oh, okay. What is it?
It's a 4.
It's a 4?
Yeah, well, it's 6 total, but yeah.
You're like, Cabal, Nightweaver. A lot of crazy proper nouns they're throwing out there.
Oh, really quick, what was the organization she referenced before, like, way before Obscurio? She said it was like 500 years before or something.
Order of Arcana.
Interesting. Okay. That was all I wanted to know.
All right.
I probably would have waited, but I already rolled, so it's fine. I'll probably figure it out anyway.
So, you guys finish the rest of your sleep, wake up, and the day greets you. The snow is still falling, but strangely enough, you notice that it's not as intense around your camp. You wonder if that's goodwill or indifference or whatever.
Do we see any sign of her still in the, what was it, temple? Temple, yeah.
It's early morning. You didn't, during the night, you didn't hear any giant flapping wings, so you assume that she's still there, but hard to say.
Helmir look over at Popo. To the temple?
I guess so. Pack up camp. Look over.
I mean, she didn't say we couldn't come visit her.
We should probably say thank you for not killing us.
Bowing to the woman. I don't know. Let's go over there and we'll see.
Okay.
So you approach the temple and find as you get closer, she is where's the here. She's kneeling. She's in her dragon form. She is kind of almost curled around this shard of ice.
Very cool. Terrifying.
She kind of her eye opens as you see, a piercing blue eye with its long black slit eyeing you.
Gonna put hands up. Stop walking. As non-threatening as possible.
Helmir won't have any weapons up, but he's not putting his hands up.
Can I help you? It's a little bit of the most terrifying yawn ever, as she opens her mouth and you see rows of just razor sharp teeth.
Helmir? Ask a question.
We would prefer not to disturb you, as you so graciously let us sleep in your territory. But you referenced a direction to the giants, but didn't say which direction.
Right, she uncoils her tail a little bit to point over northwest.
Gotcha.
That way.
So we're gonna draw it on the map.
And Volpa, with your passive insight, she's annoyed because you interrupted her sleep, but she seems to be a lot on edge isn't the word, but kind of very much making sure that you don't step any closer.
Gotcha.
The way that her eye flits around, especially flits down to the crystal that she's coiled around.
Mm.
There's almost a kind of feeling of like, don't you dare disturb what's mine, kind of thing.
A dragon curling around its hoard.
Yeah.
And it's strange too, because you don't see any gold around whatsoever.
It's like a baby one.
Alright. Well, much appreciated for the information. We'll be on our way out of your territory.
Mm.
Yes. Thank you. And Volpo will like turn to like walk away, but stop and like turn back and just kind of look at the dragon and not like get any closer. But she'll say, "My name is Volpa. Thank you." And then she'll walk away with Helmir.
Oh, yeah, right before like we walk away. Oh, actually, I don't know if this is a good idea. You know what? I won't throw it. I'll just be like, right before we walk away, it's like, you reference Obscurio, and I happen to have a few extra of these, and I'll leave a Obscurio coin, or like on the ledge where we were at.
All right.
And then head out. Like a welcome to the club. Not knowing if she already had one, but she didn't flip a coin, so me.
And so, as you continue onward, leaving the temple's radius of snowstorm, it's a sudden shift as you step like 2 feet forward and just suddenly goes from precipitation to absolutely nothing.
Just look back and you can just see the edge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But as you start your day's travel, what was your passive... Actually, one last thing. What was your passive perception, both of you?
21.
21.
19.
21.
It's about now that you realize that you could see just the very faintest figure of someone in that ice crystal.
Ooh.
But the realization kind of hits you at this moment. You thought before it was just like some strange shadow of the dragon itself.
It felt like she was missing someone. Someone that meant something.
Must be what we saw
Hmm.
in the ice there. Very protective. Helmir will take out his map and jot down a little dot with kind of like a snowflake next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just kind of like to himself, just like there's a dragon here.
All right, so I want both of you to give me the rolls for the day. So 1d6 each.
Six.
One.
Alrighty. So, you travel for about half of the day. As you move forward, there's more outcroppings of rock that show up out of nowhere. You see that you hold on, let me check that. Is that what I think it is? The weather is uncommonly good. And you look out for any changes in scenery as you look down, and you're moving forward a bit. And before, Vopa, you slip a little bit. And like, oh, a lot more icy over here. You look kind of where your foot slid, and it's like, you're on top of a lake right now.
Oh. Careful where you step. Could be thin in places, maybe.
Hopefully not all the way up here, but it is possible.
Try not to take any risks. If I look around, it might not be able to tell because there's snow on the ground, but can I tell the edge of this lake is?
Go ahead and give me a nature or survival check. Just because it's covered completely in snow, but with the depth and the direction you're going, maybe trying to gauge off of that, maybe where the edge might be.
Ooh, 22 for survival.
You're able to pick out not only where the lake edge is. You're like, oh, good. If we just go veer off to the right just a little bit, you should be able to get to the shore real easy. Because the direction you guys were traveling was into the middle of the lake. You also, as you're trekking along, I want you guys to each give me dex saves. Yours with advantage, Volpa.
Okay. $23.
Helmir?
Forgot to unmute myself. Whoops. Most dexterous person in the world, nat 1.
Ooh.
So, you both are walking a decent stride from each other to kind of spread out the weight. There's a couple times where you're like, Volpa finds a kind of a patch of ice that starts to crack as she puts her foot over it and circumvents it. Silently, you kind of peer back and kind of signal down to like, hey, this is fragile, but you must have Helmir must have not been paying attention to what you said. Just sees you point down, is like, this way, and walks straight on top of it as the ice crumbles beneath him. And you get plunged immediately into the frigid water. Give me a con save. You're muted, by the way, Hunter, if you don't know that.
Keep touching buttons. 15.
15. Okay, then you manage to manage to not basically paralyze yourself as you as the cold assaults your senses. You take. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I would immediately run over and try to help get him out if I can without more ice breaking underneath me or something.
Okay. Are you going for speed or are you being careful?
What do I see in front of me? Do I even see him? Is he fully under?
You see where he is. His face just barely visible from underneath the water.
I'll go careful.
Alrighty then. And then take 11 points of cold damage, Helmir.
Oh. Okay.
And
Helmir will try to wave with one hand, wait, and I'm gonna do my best to throw a rope over to her.
All right, make an athletics check there.
Ooh. 10 total.
10. You throw the rope. You're not used to its weight, especially with it starting to soak with water. You throw the rope and it just starts sinking.
I go, good idea, and I grab my own rope, that is not wet, and I'm gonna try and throw it at him.
Okay, I'll just kind of quickly tie mine to me so it doesn't get lost in the water, and then grab that one.
All right, and it's easy enough for you now that you're close enough to kind of pull him out. You managed to get a little bit of ways away from where the ice is a little bit more fragile. But Helmir, you are sopping wet.
Very cold boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
This keep happening. Twice in 2 days.
you should probably make a campfire and get you warmed up, or you'll freeze to death.
We should probably make it to the edge of this lake.
Yeah.
And as you make it as you're walking over to the edge of the lake, this time with very much paying attention to where Volpa's what she's saying, as your teeth start chattering, Helmir. You notice just like a Volpa, you're like, okay, there's some shallow ice there. It's just like, wait. Some of the snow is cleared off, and there's a deliberate hole drilled into the ice. Looks like a ice fishing hole.
Oh.
Then a little bit off to the side, you can actually see what looks to be like what looks to be a crate. Inside, if you open the box, you see what looks to be, a fishing pole as well as, spools of line.
Evidence of life. Do they look big enough to be used by giants?
The fishing pole?
Yeah.
It's fairly big. Could be. But it's not... It's if it's a it's like you're trying to envision, it's just like, well, wait, how giant are giants? It's not like you've seen one before.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's kind of just like, I mean, that could belong to a giant.
Huh. But it's bigger than like a normal human's fishing pole.
It's quite a bit longer. That's distinguishable.
Huh.
The ice fishing hole is... you have two options. You can continue along the edge of the lake and go back towards where your line of travel is once you've kind of gone past the perimeter of the lake. Or you see that this ice fishing hole... Well, actually... Yeah, you could look for traces of where this... of any sort of life further than just this ice fishing hole to see if there is another direction.
Yeah, if Helmir's okay with it, I'd like to at least see like if there's tracks that lead from the ice fishing hole to like the shore of the lake, like off the water.
Okay.
Also, we were heading across the lake, right?
That's where your direction took you. So I take it that if you were to continue traveling in that direction, you trace the edge of the lake until you have reached kind of the edge of it and then keep going in the direction. Basically, you could have taken the short route through it, but elected not to, I imagine.
And that's when we figured out it was a lake? Because I just fell in the lake.
You were traveling through, you figured out it was a lake, and you're like, okay, let's get off to the shore. And then in the process of getting to the shore, you fell into the lake.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so how you're course correcting is just staying on land, kind of roughly going in the direction until there's no more lake. And then you can just go straight there.
Yeah. That's a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can, of course, try to see if there's another direction of given by any footprints or any other traces of life near this fishing hole.
Instead of like stopping and making a fire, I'm just gonna light up a torch to kind of stay warm, or get as much warmth as possible, and then we can continue looking around and heading in that direction.
Yeah.
Right.
Thankfully, the sun is out, and there isn't a lot of clouds in the sky, so the wind chill isn't as severe as it has been in the past. So you're able to see what you're doing and warm yourself up once you get the torch going. But Volpa, you said you wanted to check out to see if there's any tracks. Make a
Yeah.
make a check besides perception. And I'd like you choose one and try to justify it.
Besides perception.
Yes.
I guess I'll probably choose survival then for like looking for tracks in the snow, either footprints or remnants of anything that might be left behind that might have, I don't know, dropped or something. That sort of thing.
All right. Go ahead.
16.
16. You are able to find tracks. You don't think they're giant tracks, just because the footprints don't seem like super big.
Okay.
But they do go straight north instead of northwest.
What do you think, Helmir?
You said they go straight west?
Straight north instead of northwest, which was where your previous bearing was.
I mean, we could head north, like following the stuff, and then just head west afterwards if we don't see anything.
That's true. I'm
Up to that.
interested in finding a possibly warm place to sleep tonight. And maybe more information if they have it.
That would be nice. And this might also be a place where the wizard might be.
That's true. This could be the wizard. North it is then.
So, as you set off, you go forward to following the tracks, and you have to kind of step out of the way of a couple what look to be traps for snow rabbits. And off in the distance, you see what looks to be a rock outcropping that looks to have a cave entrance. You're like, oh, right there. And as you draw closer, you realize, look off to your right, and what you thought was an incredibly large, like almost hill of snow, is actually like an igloo.
Huh.
With a and it is nearing dusk at this point. You see what looks to be and now that you can see that this is an igloo, you do see the very faintest wisp of smoke coming out of where some of the snow kind of has a little bit of a shoot upward. And then, a light comes from within the entrance to the igloo. Footsteps as the door opens, and you see kind of this kind of warmly lit interior, as it's almost like this igloo is like a sort of housing for almost a sort of log cabin. But stepping through the door is what looks to be a very tall gentleman, which you notice obviously the height of the door first, and the rest of the structure. A rather tall gentleman looks to be a... You would think it a Goliath, if not for the fact that you know better, and that Goliaths don't have beards. There seems to be this kind of wispy facial hair on this figure with grayish skin and kind of solid line tattoos on him. His hair is kind of long and shaggy and is tangled in knots. His he is bundled up with furs, and he carries a very large scabbard on his back, of which a long sword of well, a long sword befitting of his size, so it looks like a great sword to the rest of you.
Oh my.
He looks at
Hello.
you all, and its eyes a little surprised, just the fact that it's not like he's seeing you for the first time, but it's kind of just the fact that you're here. He just like looks out with like a puzzled look. He looks like a homeless man.
It's like he's in the middle of the desert or something, and then somebody shows up on his doorstep. Like,
Exactly. And then he just kind of purses his lips a bit and, kind of bites his mustache a bit and just like in thought, and then goes, I'm pretty sure I have 2 cups. And walks back in and beckons you come in.
Well, that went well.
It's like, thank you very much, sir.
guess
He sees that you're soggy, and he's just like, "No, hold on." He's like, stops you at the door from like, dripping water inside, and then he just he mutters an incantation under his breath, and then just a blast of wind just kind of goes at you. And
Do I recognize this as like a similar spell or whatever to something that my guys have used?
it's a sort of like thaumaturgy to just kind of dry you off, blow dry you off.
Okay, sweet.
And he's just like, sorry about that. It's necessary. And he, as you, I take it you step in, and he closes the door behind you. And all around is this kind of it's a fairly large log cabin for something that he made for just himself. There's like numbers of game heads mounted on the wall. There's like a bearskin rug on the floor. There's like a little bit of a tiny stove where he has, a couple bags of coal next to. But there's a hammock. There's also like an entire weaponry of just a like crossbow, longbow, short bow, spear, long sword, short sword.
I see you're a bit of a hunter.
Well, kinda have to be.
I respect the survival.
Knew how to hunt. Served me quite well. And he pulls out of this kind of a big satchel of disorganized amenities. It looks to be a small clay cups, and sets them out on this little tiny table he has.
Tiny for him or tiny for us?
Tiny for him.
Gotcha.
And he actually has on the stove, he actually does have a kettle. It's just like, I have coffee if you like it. But
Please.
another thing, of course, water, and most importantly, Ania kind of takes out what looks to be a little. Why is the word evading me? Just a little canteen of what you assume to be alcohol.
Ah.
That will definitely warm you up. Your place is lovely.
Thank you. Tried to keep it that way.
Do you often get visitors out here?
It is known to happen.
Oh,
But not for a long while. It's the way he's like kind of phrasing his words. It's kind of, his voice is a little bit hoarse. Like he's hadn't needed to use it for a while.
Kind of like broken sentences.
Yeah.
well, I'm Volpa.
I'm Helmir. Nice to meet you.
Vasher.
What are you doing all the way out here by yourself?
I can wait a little bit. First of all, he kind of puts a bunch of puts a number of rabbits that are seem to be freshly hunted, and then gives puts down two skinning knives down on the table. I hunt. You prepare. Fair exchange, I suppose.
Oh,
Sounds good to me. Just like home.
sure.
And let me know when you're done. And he walks over, and you see into probably the only other room in this place. And closes the door behind him.
All right. Kind of a quiet guy.
I was hoping to talk with him a little bit. We'll be cut, but I guess he'll be back once we're done. So let's get to it.
Sounds good. He probably
So-
just needs a little encouragement. It's like it's been a while since he's talked to anyone.
It's like, look around, and most of everything around this place, though, some amenities are kind of in a chaos. It's kind of the organized chaos that like someone might keep their room in. Where there's definitely there's a method to it. But mostly all things that are needed for survival, you don't really see, aside from the the trophies from the animals, you don't see a lot of personal amenities at first glance. And after you're done skinning the rabbits, I take it you both have backgrounds enough to do it with ease.
I think so.
Honestly, I was waiting for the nat 1 roll.
If you want to like do a perfect job of it, you can give me a survival roll if you like, but like if you
No,
want to. But it is nice to be free from the wind. It's almost kind of a ghost limb now. It feels like the air is almost too still because you're just used to it. But it is a very welcome surprise. And the warmth kind of seeps into you, and you kind of have to, especially Helmir, you have to like struggle to kind of keep yourself awake still. As he walks back in, as apparently wherever you went to had a number of vegetables where he has these mostly potatoes, honestly. A lot of root vegetables. Which he has already kind of diced up and puts into the pot of water. He takes the rabbit meat, cuts it up a little finer, and then also puts it in there. Should be not long. And he kind of sits down at the table and kind of looks around. He seems like he's not sure what to do.
So, Vasher, he said it was.
Vasher, yes.
Vasher.
Oh, right, names. Your Volpa and... Oh, wait, did you say your names, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Volpa and Helmir.
Mm-hmm. How long have you lived out here?
About a decade now.
That's a pretty long time.
Mm-hmm. Where are you from? What takes you across this this fine wilderness?
Well, I'm from Verdas, and I am looking for a wizard.
Wizard, huh? I mean, I've had visitors that are researchers once, but I don't think nothing too recent. Last one came through about a year ago.
Nobody by the name Win Targon?
Oh, hold on, let me take a second.
Also, from observing him, is he a frost giant?
No, he is. He looks to be a half Goliath from the look of it.
Half Goliath, okay.
But the door is larger by several margins. You wonder, like, how much that is for like necessary, but maybe it's just your perspective. The whole place is remarkably spacious, even by his own standard. It's just the table itself. It seems like, when he was furnishing this place, that was kind of the compromise he made.
Well, guy's gotta have a VIP pad, even though it's just in.
Hold on, let me look at something real quick. Volpa, what's your passive insight?
It is 19.
19?
Mm-hmm.
Both of you notice he's kind of like... doesn't... It's strange. It's like he's about to give an answer and then kind of closes his lips before he can say something. That person, what did she look like?
Well, that's the problem. We don't really know.
Shoot, did they tell us what she looked like?
But you do have a drawing of her.
Never mind. I have a drawing of her.
It's in the
Here you
notes.
go. I will show it to him.
And you're able to see that there is a kind of recognition in his eyes when he sees it, and he's trying to stay, inconspicuous, but he's failing. That it was a kind of a thing of like, well, maybe it's not her, and then it's just like, oh shit.
You have seen her, haven't you? How long ago was it? Where was it?
Pardon, if I may ask, specific to your business here, what you're doing, say, I made a promise not to say anything. And I don't know if it's been not enough time. I need to know who you are.
Well, I can tell you that I'm just looking for help, really. I need someone who knows about powerful magic. She seemed like a good option. Until I found out, she was maybe lost in a wintry wasteland, but here I am.
And you?
Came to Verdast. I'm still looking for the frost giants in order to learn some special skills from them, and the wizard that we're looking for, Wynn, she studies runic magic, so we're looking to request her help to fix the artifact in Verdast.
When you mention frost giants, he kind of throws his eyebrows up, almost just like, frost giants, those don't exist. You can kind of read a little bit of annoyance.
I was gonna say, do I even need an insight check?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
It's a kind of thing of like, he thinks that you're fucking with him.
Well, we do have it on word from a white dragon that the frost giants exist, and that they were in this vague direction.
Oh yeah, and a dragon told you that too. Make a make a persuasion check with disadvantage, both of you.
Okay.
Fair.
Oh,
Not bad. 16.
17.
You can he's kind of and he feels even more in less it's now just like developed from annoyance to kind of he feels like you've kind of come here to insult him.
Oh.
And then it takes him a second to kind of read into your expressions and see that you're not mocking him. Wait, you're not, you do believe that there are giants out there.
It's gonna be real sad if we've come all this way and we find out they don't.
I thought it was just imperator determinist. He just shakes it off. Well, I suppose if your intentions are quite noble, then I can tell you that I did. Well, starting at the top of the conversation, I did run into a Quinn Targana. She stayed here about a little under a year ago.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh.
not long after the earthquake, in fact.
Wait, how do you spell it?
Is it in...
You sent it to me. I think it's Quinn.
I'll type it in notes.
Dude. This is what I thought you said originally.
Oh. Yeah, that's fine.
Whoops. Alright, cool.
But yeah, she did come through here. She pestered me until I told her where I saw, giants last. Oh, oops. And I warned her that they don't like company that much. But, she just kept on going, and then, it's, she didn't pass back down, so I assume that, swear upon your heart that you're not going to share this information with the public.
Definitely swear.
On my name.
This is gonna take a sec. Alright. Kind of refills your drinks. It was about 10 years ago. Well, I suppose a little bit further back than then, but not by much. I used to live in Kartushka. Living up there ain't easy, but it's possible. Sure as hell easier than this. Bit of a retired adventurer. 20 years ago, I kind of, settled down back in my hometown because my ma wasn't getting to that age. You know, she passed away, and she's sleeping soundly. But since then, I had to find, a way to make a living. Adventuring post-retirement don't make too much. Doing some guards work. Freelancing, and until I got a job from some nobility from the inner city. Real nasty people, but they pay well, and if you get on their good side, you're in for life. Inner cities, for any of you who haven't been to Kartushka, shielded by the mountains. It's a lot easier of a life in there, or at least from my brief visits inside. But they wanted me to go on this expedition as, a hired muscle. We ran into... Little did I know they were hunting fairy tales. Well, hunting giants. I thought they were kind of crazy for it, but, highborn people are eccentric. Until I saw one in the flesh. Somehow, they managed to find one. And I was the only help they had left. I'm pretty good. I managed to wound him. And they told me to, kill him and take his head back so that they could, use it as a trophy or something or other. But Frost Giant was a kid. A big kid, mind you, but still a kid. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Get back to town. And obviously I don't get my payment, but it gets worse than that. You anger a noble in that place. It's not something taken lightly. I tried getting work other places in the city, but people that I've known for years closed their doors to me, knowing the shadow I carried behind me. That's what hurt the most. I always resented nobles, but it's something, that you expect. Something you learn to just live with. But, seeing some friends turn their heads away, that's what hurt. Later on, I decided I had had enough. The pay I had from previous commissions from this noble were enough to get supplies to build this here shack. And lo and behold, later on, I don't know how they found me, but those frost giants came back and showed me some gratitude. Offered me, some trade. It's how I'm surviving out here, to be honest. Food is easy enough to hunt, but getting coal? Nah. So, I'm sorry, go ahead. I've talked for a while. It's just a while since I've been able to get that off my chest.
This is good. Much appreciated for all of this. This is really cool. You said they taught you how to get coal. Is that what the cave is for?
Oh, no. The cave is where I brew this. And he takes out what looks to be like a bunch of craft brewing supplies for the liquor. They gave me the coal themselves in exchange for some drink, if you'd believe it.
You sound like a very noble person.
Yeah, well, sorry, go ahead.
When Quinn stayed with you, you sent her off in the direction of frost giants. Did you assume she would come back, or were you afraid that they wouldn't receive her kindly?
They're good folk. They don't do anything without a reason, but they do value their secrecy in where they live. I feel ashamed. They came back to me and they told me that they'd locked her up.
Oh.
They don't. Yeah. They now that she knows where they are, they're not too kind to let her go. It's how they've stayed this way for generations.
Do you think there's anything that would convince them to let her go?
I'm sorry, can you, your audio's a little garbled. Can you say that again?
Oh, sorry. Do you think there's anything that would convince them to let her go?
I mean, only... There was one time they took me back to their place. Showed me around. They offered, if I could stay there, if I went through some trial of some sort. But I don't know. I refused. So I assume, going and doing that trial will earn you some respect, but then again, being true to your word and, gaining some people's respect is fickle in this world. See how I end up. I urge you to reconsider. They're good folk. Once you know where they're from, then you either you can either somehow convince them to let you go, but they're not going to be too keen on it. Maybe doing that trial will help.
trial?
Yeah.
Well, Helmir, you did say you wanted to learn something from them, right?
Yeah, my goal is to learn runesmithing.
But yeah, just I don't know about this all.
I mean, you made a promise not to say anything, so we won't force you to. Even if it's just a direction. We currently have northwest as a direction. I don't want you to go against your word, but is that direction at least close?
Closer than you think.
Okay.
He's kind of. You see his kind of eyes dart out the window a bit, in a direction away from the rest of the igloo.
What direction is that?
Looks to be straight north.
Okay.
Anyways, I've said way too much.
I agree. You said plenty, and we were very gracious to you. If there's anything you'd like to know in return, anything that we could help you with.
A good story is hard to come by. Either of you got one?
I might have one. Let's see here. I actually referenced this to, no kidding, the dragon we talked to last night. About the shadow creatures who had taken over a circus. And Helmir will go on to explain what happened, the woes of seeing the place and coming upon it, and it's still looking like it's running. Like all the lights and all these things running just a little dimmer than what they normally would be. And instead of normal people walking around, it's shadowy figures of people who would have been running these things. And all the while, there's stuff going on here, there, a Ferris wheel, games to play, and everything looking so innocent, even with all the sinisterness lying beneath. And as we go in disguised as stage performers, we find the big bad that we could sense from the outside. The princess, or should I say witch herself, granted power by this big bad mystical being. It's been controlling all of these poor people and having them live out their lives day in and day out, even though they've all already passed. And as we spring into action to save these people, a battle ensues. Shadow creatures here and there, and the big princess, the most powerful one of them all, trying to defend her stolen glory, her stolen noble status. The long and drawn-out battle finally concludes, with the shadow creatures being defeated. One very big one getting away, maybe to be seen later, but the princess defeated. And the circus now falling silent for the first time in ages, as everybody is able to rest.
So throughout all of the story, just he is enraptured. And gives kind of a soft clap with his big hands. Thank you. Amazing things, adventuring.
True. I've only been doing it for, a few weeks to a month now? Oh, boy.
Hey. Amazing things happen in quick bursts of time. You can see kind of a little bit of his kind of settled in. Earlier, you kind of detect this kind of hint of just subdued depression and sadness in him. Now he seems to be genuinely enjoying himself.
I'll tell you what, you want to see some that I haven't tested yet?
That depends.
Here, we should probably go outside for it, because I'm not sure how it's gonna go.
Alrighty.
So I'm gonna bring the prototype 12, the 12-sided die, out of my bag
Mhm.
that I had with me all the way back from what was that? The Hammer or Bricklestock?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Bricklestock. And I'm gonna go ahead and toss it as far away from us as possible, away from the cave, like away from his house, just
Okay.
into a random patch.
Roll a d12.
Ooh, lucky number 7.
Oh, you said 7?
Yes.
Okay. You toss it, and it lasts, and it tops boom, 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 boom. As arcane energy kind of pulses through it, and the gears whir. And then almost like with the toaster ding in a way, just locks into place. It seems brighter. And you wait a second, you're like, something gonna happen? Just like, huh. Must not work.
Interesting. Maybe I didn't quite do it right. I'll go grab it and then
Okay,
stand
as
back.
as you grab it, um, you see a electricity arcs through it and just for a second you have to take your hand off. You're like, oh dang. You managed not to get hit by it, but you're just like, that's weird. It was like it's like a almost like one of those fun buzzers kind of thing.
Like it shocks you when you touch it.
Yeah, and you're just like, huh. And then the gears then start whirring again, and then it locks back into place. You see almost kind of the pattern on the outside, since it's metal, kind of returns to where it was. You notice actually when you're actually looking at it, you're like, oh, those jagged patterns actually look like lightning bolts. On the first, before it like shifted back to its neutral state.
Huh.
Is that how it's supposed to work?
I have no idea.
For mechanics of this, you can hurl this up to 60 feet as an action, and then a random magical effect occurs when the die comes to rest after rolling across the ground for at least 10 feet.
I did have like the item description,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what the effects were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can roll it again to see if it does something different.
I don't know, maybe I didn't quite roll it right. I'll go ahead and I'll go back and toss it again.
Okay, roll another d12.
Something awful is gonna happen. This guy's house is gonna end up getting blown up or something.
Yeah, for context, how far away are you guys from the igloo?
Let's
We
say
should go a fair distance away.
yeah, let's say like 30 feet from the house, and then I'm gonna be throwing it away. So
Okay.
I'll throw it 20 feet away. So the thing is 50 feet away from the house.
Yeah. So, okay, you go ahead and do that. And what's your next d12 roll?
2.
2?
Yeah. Oh no.
With the 2, it actually summons an ancient white dragon. So
Teleports the nearest dragon to your location.
I want you to roll a percentile for me.
Oh no. Interesting. 68.
68. Okay. So you roll it in it. You're like, okay, 2. What does that do? And you're like,
oh no.
and then it just as you see kind of pieces of the dodecahedron, just shards of metal just get cast aside, and within 20 feet of where it rested, just all of the arcane magic pulsed and just like pushed away incredibly violently all the snow that it goes far enough that that the snow, you get pelted with just a bunch of snow.
I was gonna say we're 20 feet away from it, so it's.
Oh
just
wait, you're 20 feet away from it?
Yeah, I said I threw it 20 feet.
Make a dex save then.
I mean,
All of us?
would I be just outside of it then?
I'd say make a dex save with advantage.
Okay.
Do I have to make one as well?
Oh, let's say yes, because you'd probably
Okay.
be like, you're like, oh, it didn't do anything last time. So,
I'm assuming our friend would be behind us.
yeah, probably is just like, I don't like this.
17.
17. Volpa,
22.
22. All right, both of you save, so you take half damage.
Oh, great.
I take no damage.
Volpa, you take 20 force damage.
Ow!
That's halved?
Yes.
Oh my god!
I think Volpa just like is not expecting it at all and gets like blasted like back into a snowbank. Like you know how sometimes in cartoons someone
Yeah.
like goes into a snowbank and it's just like the outline of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens.
So you're able to... You just take that and just like... And you check and it's just like... You just slowly walk back towards it to see where's... And you see... It didn't... pieces of the pieces of the dodecahedron have flown off, but all ornamental, so basically because you rolled the percentile, it didn't destroy itself in the explosion.
Oh, okay, that's what that was for.
Yeah. it's and so yeah. And Vasha's just like helps you up, Volpa, and is just like, I think that's been enough of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe next time throw it just a little bit farther away.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try. I'm not the strongest person, but yeah. Foot blast. 40. Did you roll for the damage?
Yes, I did.
Jesus.
It's a rare item.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Whew, okay. Well, that was exhilarating. Honestly, it was pretty fun. But yeah, well, let's not do any more of that.
Yeah. Definitely ready to go to bed. Volpa is.
True. I think it's like midnight now. It was dark when we got here.
Yeah. It's that kind of thing of like... So Vasher kind of goes over after you pick it up and kind of take it out, and then just like sweeps the, like, tries to push some of the snow back onto it. It's like part of this camp's, his success in the wilderness is keeping the place inconspicuous, and so you know, he's trying to make things look a little bit more natural.
There's just a 20-foot crater.
Yeah, basically, it's like, you know, you're in Minecraft and you're like, well, that happened. It's just like Creeper Blast is like, all right, just, you know, shovel some stuff over this, and
Let me fix my home real quick.
yeah. Thankfully, far enough away from his home that it doesn't affect anything.
Yeah. Obviously, it won't help.
Yeah.
I'll help to shovel that back. Sorry about that. Wasn't sure what it did, but
Yeah,
I figured
you sure are interesting people. God. It's had a sorcerer friend. I'd like to say that in the past that I didn't experience that, but you know, he was a wild magic sorcerer, so... Jeez. All right. You mind if that stays? Can you like put the cave is plenty secure.
Yeah, we can sleep in the cave. That's fine.
I mean, I was more just saying putting that big metal device in the cave.
Yeah, I can keep it outside.
Okay. So he leads you a little bit north up to the cave. Inside the cave, you do see the deeper in. There is the there's like a cask where you assume he's fermenting the alcohol. But the looking down, like the tunnel does seem to keep going downward and onward. But he just takes this and he's just kind of like finds a crate near the entrance and just kind of is like opens it up, puts like a little bit of cloth around it to like cushion it.
Yeah, don't accidentally roll, please.
It's like when you're like trying to brace like something fragile when you're like putting something in your car.
You know what? I'm kind of curious now that, like, this is just me talking, not Helmir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious that if it's thrown and rolls downhill, is there just multiple effects that happen as it goes downhill?
It seems like it has to come to rest before it has an effect.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because all it said in the description was that it needed to roll 10 feet. And I was like...
That's true. There is no stipulation on a maximum. It just says...
It does say...
10 feet.
Well, it does say a random magical effect occurs when the die comes to rest after rolling across the ground for at least 10 feet.
Yeah. So yeah, there. I guess you could just put it down a hill and then pray. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. Like, it would only do an effect once it gets to the bottom and stops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it has to, like, land on a number.
Yeah. But you're able to do so. But yeah, you look at the cave and it's just like, must come here often. Like, so there's quite a bit of trailed snow into here.
He's saying that?
No. Like, you notice the cave itself has a lot of trailed snow inside. Like, it's gotten quite a bit of foot traffic.
Interesting. Any, like, noticeable footprints or, like, tracks?
Make a survival check.
27.
27. You see some very, 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 very faint... It's not even footprints, it's just displacements of snow. Where you can imagine a giant's foot could have been placed. A giant must have walked into this cave. And strangely enough, the tracks with the 27, Jesus, the tracks don't go out of the cave.
Just into the cave?
Well, no. Not like out of the cave, like it comes from inside of the cave and then curves around.
Oh, like nothing goes into it, but only exits.
Yeah, it's like the giant came from the inner part of the cave, then had some business, then turned around. There's none that actually exit the cave itself.
Oh, okay.
For the record, after Volpa got blasted into the snow, I think she went back inside the igloo house and has poured herself another drink.
Yeah. Probably. Also, are any of you having the liquor?
I guess.
If Helmir probably would.
With Volpa?
I think yes, after being blasted into the snow.
All right. Make a con save.
Oh no. 10.
10. You managed to control a wave of there's a little slight wave of nausea, but it passes. This stuff is heavy, very strong.
Yeah, that probably doesn't feel great after essentially just getting sucker punched in the stomach.
Yeah. It does at least numb the pain a little bit.
That's good.
But yeah, you're like, oh, he was selling this to giants. It's like, that makes sense. But it does keep you quite warm. It does burn on the way down. And he notices you're like, oh yeah, Horn-Eater White. And you recall that's the type of liquor that, like, in Verdast, like, people would take if they're like, I don't want to, like, layer up on blankets, or I want to get wasted.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it has a oddly kind of a kind of a nice taste, but like it's overshadowed by the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
But Helmir gets walked back to the igloo, and it's like, well, I think that's plenty of excitement for me. And so I'm gonna retire for the night. I have a hammock right there. But I'm sure you guys also have bedrolls if you like to. I got some space over there you can set up.
Sure.
And don't know if you end up waking up before me and set out. Hold on a sec. He walks into into his room, then pulls out a bag filled with something. Here you go. And you look inside, and it's 10 days of rations between the two of you.
Ooh. Nice.
Thank goodness.
So I guess 20 rations in effect.
Oh, 10 for each of us. Okay.
Yes.
I thought you were saying 10 total.
No.
God, oh wait, take away 1 for last night. So I'm at 19. Dang. Rations for days.
It's a long journey. No matter which way you go.
Yeah, that's for sure. Thank you very much for your hospitality. I think I'll head off for the night.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anything you guys would like to do before you go to sleep? He goes into his own room, so if you would like to talk to each other, you can.
I think honestly, Volp was pretty knocked out at this point.
That's fair.
Literally. Boom.
You're Helmir, you're probably like, so interesting day, huh? And you just like look over and Volpa's out.
Yeah.
But you wake up the next day. Volpa, you wake up first because you knock out first.
Mm-hmm.
To find yourself having felt like one of the it's strange how despite the mild injury you took, that this was basically one of the best sleeps you've ever had in your life after after all that you've been through to get here.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys wake up, and what are you doing?
I assume our friend's still in his room.
Yeah, he's still asleep.
We'll go ahead and write him a little note saying thank you for everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'll leave.
Yeah.
This is just gonna be Helmir's thing now. I'm gonna leave him a Obscurio coin
Okay.
with the phrase, just because I have like, how many are in this jug? I'm assuming like at least 30.
There's like 35. Or I guess there was 35. So
Yes,
So,
another
like,
33.
yeah. How many did you give to the white dragon?
Just the one.
Just the one. Okay.
Where's my jar? Okay, I gotta put in here.
Just recruiting. You're just so it must be what must be, what is it? Is it Fall Fest? What is it?
Let's get into...
It's like recruiting season for student hordes.
Yeah. One given to White Dragon of Upper Dast. One given to...
It's a complimentary lollipop of interacting with Helmir.
Yeah.
I better get one then.
I thought you already had one.
I could. There's a possibility, I just don't remember.
But you drop off that Obscurio coin and leave a note saying thank you.
Of course,
And,
you're welcome to have one, Volpa, if you'd like.
I'll take one.
Where do you head off?
The way he was looking last night was north, which isn't that where the cave's at? Well, first I gotta go get my D12.
Yeah, you
Sure.
go and get your D12 from the crate.
Thank goodness. I was worried you were gonna take it away from me. But okay.
And yes, it is roughly to the north.
Would I surmise based on where his igloo is at that this is what he was looking at, or?
I'd say you have a decent idea of just like probably.
I think from last night he was not telling us that we're outside now. I'm not really whispering. It's like I think from what he was not telling us is that it's gonna be in here to find them.
Ah.
So I think this is our best bet.
All right.
Uh, oops. Accidentally highlights whole screen. But yeah, I'd say we're headed in now.
So you're heading into the cave, huh?
Don't say it like that, but yeah.
Let me get this synced up. God dang. So, you headed to the cave, and continuing along though it's natural, you look at it for a second and you're just like, there's something a little too perfect about this cave. It's just like, you see, like, it's a conveniently pretty dang large. Like, usually with a cave, you'll have shifting amount of points where, you'll have to squeeze through, like, a very narrow crack. Or even just, like, the ceiling will just lower suddenly and you'll have to make do. But you would surmise that, like, it stays at a pretty considerable height throughout. But as you... continue on. You see the tunnel gives way to a larger cave system, though it is still, there isn't any branching pathways. You see geodes of crystals forming at the different points and edges and crevices of the cave. Almost like small lanterns. As you continue forward, it goes deeper and deeper. As you keep going, you see it the wind chill from outside leaves you completely. And there's kind of this steady kind of lukewarm temperature. As you trek forward. You see even parts where there's pools of water and glowing mushrooms glowing and growing from different parts of it. It's a slow transition, and you don't really notice it until you kind of stop and think to yourself. This place is basically the Underdark.
Oh,
But at the very least, you do now see etching, a very slight etching with your passive perceptions. A giant rune. And remind me, Helmir, you understand giant runes, right?
I know the giant language. Yeah.
You know the giant language. So it says forward with a kind of part of the glyph also indicating a direction, just a waypoint.
Oh my goodness, I almost dropped my dice. Okay.
And looking around you, it's shockingly beautiful.
Wow.
But the stories that you heard in bedtime stories of drow, of horrific abominations that populate this so-called Underdark, also keeps you wary of its beauty. Make a perception check for me. Who's heading?
Me.
yeah, probably Helmir.
uh, 19.
19. Okay, you continue forward, and the biome continues to shift. As now you're almost walking on the sides of the path, as there's just this steady, like, stream down the center. During this travel, is there anything you guys want to talk about, or should I continue ahead? Or anything else about the scene itself that you want me to flesh out a little bit more?
Hmm.
No.
Well, he certainly did not mention this part.
Yeah. It is very nice, though. A little warm breeze from the cold contrasts upstairs, in quotes.
Don't frost giants live in the cold, though?
I don't know. Maybe their body temperatures are just so cold they have to have a warm place or something.
Maybe.
Them living in the mountains is just a stereotype.
Yeah. Let's just keep a close eye out.
Of course. So right now we're just walking down basically like a hallway, like rock hallway with geodes poking in for light, and there's a small stream.
Yes.
Okay.
And, you know, as it broadens quite a bit, you know, stalagmites and stalactites kind of accents the surroundings around you. That for a split second, Helmir, you can roll a d20. I'll make the the proper modifiers for this.
Okay. Oof.
Same for you, Volpa.
Nothing
Okay.
added to it, just D20.
Just D20. I'll like to keep the mystery of what this is.
I rolled a 3.
Very nice.
I rolled a 16.
What?
16.
16. So you guys continue, and there's certain spores that are hanging in the air that you kind of wave out of the way. You continue forward, Helmir, but you notice one of the stalagmites 30 feet off to the side. You could swore that it twitched a little.
I'm gonna examine it, but from 10 feet away. So I'll be damned if I get surprised by a rock.
Mm-hmm. All right, make a perception check.
Yeah. 28.
Okay, you look at this rock and you're like, okay. I don't think this is... Okay. You check it and you're just like, must be seeing things. Your tickle, you feel like almost kind of a tingly sensation. Like,
What you looking at, Helmir?
Could have sworn I saw this move, but keep your eye out. Something doesn't feel right.
For the rocks?
This area that we're in. Also, side question: we doing long rest, half rest?
half rest.
Half rest. Okay.
All right, I'll keep an eye out.
So, keep looking around. Helmir, you look back and you're like, was that stalagmite there, or did it move 2 feet closer from behind you?
Wait, say that again?
You make another... You take a look behind you as you continue forward, just at the same place you were, and you're like, you swear it moved 2 feet to the left. But you swallow your curiosity and just I want you to make another d20 roll, Helmir.
Okay. As I make this roll, I'm gonna speak out in giant. Just, we mean no harm. We're looking for information. Just saying it out loud. And I rolled a 4.
Alrighty. As you're walking, and you're just thinking, man, wait, where's that lantern light coming from? And you're like, wait, that's the torch I'm carrying. Yeah, Helmir's getting a little distracted.
Hey, don't stray off the path.
Is this like a second route, or is this just like closer to the side wall?
You were just walking off to the side a bit. Just where the cave expanded a little bit further, where the it's like a branch of the stream.
Ah, okay. And I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary.
No.
I'll keep with Volpa and keep moving forward. And I didn't get any response from me talking.
No, nothing.
Are you feeling okay?
I'm hoping we're received well. I talked out in Giant and said that we're no harm, but obviously we didn't get a response.
Nope.
As suddenly you both feel the ground shake.
Oops.
It's just like earthquake. I want you to both make a nature check.
Too easy.
19.
Same.
You know what this is, and you're thinking, oh crap, this is a boulette. It is a land shark.
What?
Volpa, move!
With that roll of Volpa, you would know at least what these things look like.
Oh.
They burrow underground and respond to tremors.
We've definitely been making some tremors.
Yeah.
If we can, like, I don't know if it's possible to, like, see the path they're making, can we try to, like, jump out of their way?
Go ahead and you can make a perception check at disadvantage.
I'll try.
Yeah.
Good thing I have an awesome perception. Dirty 20.
All right. You sense that it's going in a straight line down the path you guys are on. One thing you guys also know is that boulettes are very sensitive creatures to their tremor sense. And once they get moving in a certain direction, they stick with it.
Okay.
Why?
Oh, wait, that's wrong. That is... that's what I get for putting that, not putting that on loop.
Hex girls!
Can I try to do some like monk shit and like hop on some stalag, whichever the ones are that grow out of the ground, not the ones that grow out of the ceiling. Stalagmites or stalactites, I don't know which one is what.
Okay, do you want to... Wait, you want to do on the ground ones? The stalagmites?
Yeah, just trying to like get out of their path. Maybe if there are some that are kind of like up more towards like the side of the tunnel, kind of, I guess.
Okay. You can do some acrobatics if you want to get into a good spot that's away.
Let me just check.
Yeah. So we jumped off to the side, and it's just still going.
Yeah, make an acrobatics check first, and then both make a stealth check.
Okay.
I got a 13 for acrobatics.
Okay.
25 for acrobatics, and then no, on that one for stealth.
Oh boy.
Stealth is a 30.
A 30. Okay. You notice that it stops. Keeps going in the direction forward, then almost kind of like, if you could imagine it underground, almost drifting back over. And goes over to, and seems to be slowly rumbling closer to where Helmir is.
Just slowly curling all the way around.
Yeah. Seems to get closer and closer. Are you going to do anything? Or are you going to stay still and do nothing?
I'm gonna take like a solid rock near me and I'm gonna throw it back the way we came.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Uh, 16.
And you do so. And wait as it heads back to where you threw the rock. And then continues onward back from where you came and is gone.
We won't.
Yeah,
without making any trouble.
let's be quiet for a little while. We can whisper over to Volpa and or Helmir will start heading down the direction we're going.
Alrighty. It takes a second, but you ensure that the bullet is nowhere near before you continue your travel. But as you set off with a little bit more weariness in your hearts, we will end the session there.
Boo, boo, boo.
Cool.
Nice, guys. Nice.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
very glad we did not die by ancient witcher.
Very true.